Watch this video, and then we'll talk.
When you didn't think I was that you ain't give Slim that chance, but you gave that you thought was that chance. He not around 25 years later still buying Rolls Royces. I seen you get, I seen you go through all that. I seen it, and I'm still in shape like a This is what you gotta live with. So don't ever be mad at no. Just accept the no and the rejection, and know that if you a tough like me, you gonna get your time to shine. They have to live what they told you no. Okay, if it ain't me, let's see how that work out for you. Let's see what you end up with. Yeah, I like to watch. You know what I'm saying? I ain't wishing you no bad luck either, because we don't connect. I ain't saying that at all. Don't get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm gonna look and watch. I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna see, and I'm gonna say, didn't appreciate me, told me no.
So first and foremost, I don't know that man. I honestly haven't even seen that man a day in my life before I saw that video. And the chills, the creeps, the concern that I now have for Meg. So basically, and you could kind of put the context together if you're not familiar with what's going on, but basically Meg the Stallion is now in a relationship, a public relationship with a professional ball player, and he seems like a pretty nice guy. I don't know him. I don't know Meg the Stallion, but it seems to be a pretty happy, healthy relationship from what we've seen. And then this guy, whose name is Slim Thugg, mind you, Megan's like 30 years old. This guy is in his like mid to late 40s. He looks dirty. I feel like behind the camera there's a funky smell in the car. I don't know this man, but this man who Meg has never dated. I think she's had like light associations with him because they both work in the music industry. Never dated this man. And then these are the thoughts that he has about her, about the man that she is with, about the gift that she gave a man that she's with. And he says that he's gonna stay watching. And there's so many women that are in a similar position to this, and they don't know. Hi, for those of you who are new here, my name is Shayna. I'm a journalist, and on this platform, I talk a lot about decentering men, child-free living, and all of this through an intersectional lens. So if any of that sounds like a vibe, please like, share, and subscribe. If you think you're subscribed, double check. I'm looking. Double check. Because a lot of people are getting taken out of the community because of the subject matter that we're talking about on here. So, and if you're interested in moving abroad and you want to know the nuances of that, listen, me and a friend of mine, we are working together to get a incredibly inclusive package, platform together to give people the information that they need to move abroad, whether you're solo, whether you're married, whether you have kids, whether you're a single parent, whether you're moving with your parents. We're working on getting all of that information together. Updates for that will be in the description, along with information about my course, ways to support me. All of that is in the description. So now let's get into this. And we're going to refer to the handy dandy so I don't lose my train of thought. Imagine this is you, just living La Chita Loca, and a guy that you barely know, who was old enough to be your uncle, starts ranting about a non-existent relationship with you and how they are bitter about it. And you don't have Meg's power, money, or influence. But here's the kicker. Even Meg has Meg's power, money, and influence, and she still got shot by Tory Lanez. Also, imagine that you don't know if this man has a vendetta against you. And now we are talking about countless women just walking around in this world with this exact experience. If we take the celebrity out of this, this was a very light work colleague who had all of these fantasies about a life that he thinks he deserves to have with a colleague, a distant colleague, a more successful colleague. There are people that are having this experience without even realizing they're having. Meg didn't know she was having this experience. Now imagine this is just like a regular office space. Imagine this is just like somebody at the grocery store. Imagine this is like somebody that goes to school, that like teaches at your kid's school. This could be anyone, anywhere. This happens all the time, and then men create these terrifying visions of a reality that doesn't exist, put you in the center of it, and now they're getting bitter and mad and jealous, and then wild things happen from that. I fully believe, just from that video alone, I fully believe that there should be a protective order. Like, if I was in that position, I would have a protective order being written up right now, because what do you mean you're going to be watching me in 2025? Now, the very, very thin silver lining of this is that he was dumb enough to post that online. So she at least knows to be aware of this one. But there are so many more that are just have maybe 2 more synapses that connected, and they said, maybe I shouldn't post this. I'm going to keep living like this. I'm going to keep moving and existing like this, but maybe I just won't post it to my several 100,000, or I don't know how many followers he has, but I just won't post it. But I'm going to keep acting like this, and I'm going to keep looking and waiting. Let's go back to the handy dandy for a quick moment. It seems like a mildly weird video. What seems like a mildly weird video to some is actually a sneeze away from violence, and countless women live in this situation every day, and men do not care. Men will make jokes about this. They will have homeboys and their homeboys will talk to them about this. It might not be full blown like, hey, I'm watching this woman and I'm making sure that like I'm going to be, they might not come out and say all that, but there'll be some very concerning hints. But what are the men doing about it? Are they calling out their homeboys? Are they going the extra? Are they saying, hey, don't do that. If you do something about that, I'm going to have to stop you. Are they reaching out to the authorities? Are they letting these women know, hey, this guy's a creep and I'm no longer his friend, but he said some stuff? Like, what? They're not doing that. They're making memes, they're making jokes, they're keeping it in their friend circle, it's a locker room conversation, and that is a thing that has not changed. They do not care. And if they do care, they don't care enough to do something about it. Continuing reading. Confessions like these need to be taken seriously from a legal, political, and interpersonal level. This is basically a confession. And I don't think people are taking this seriously enough. And not even just about him. These kinds of situations are not being taken seriously enough. And with that, I need all parents, if you have a son, I'm gonna need you to talk to that son. It is never too early to talk about how just because a girl or a woman exists around him, does that mean that this man or this boy is entitled to her time, to her energy, to her affection? It is never too early to start having those conversations. It is never too late to remind a boy or a man that no means no. This man clearly does not understand that no means no. Because if he knew that no means no, then he wouldn't be like, I'ma watch you. He'd just be like, oh, she's not interested in me, let me move on. It's not computing. And this man is almost 50, out here making what feels like a threat to me online. But listen, it's not about him. I mean, because who knows? I don't know what's going on with the current generation of people with penises that are currently existing. Or let me be more, men that are socialized as men. I don't know if they can be redeemed. But if enough people do the work with the upcoming generation, then maybe in 30 years there's hope. But that involves everybody with kids, everybody that's associated to kids. If you have nephews, if you have whatever, and I understand that a large amount of this work is going to fall on the shoulders of the women that are in the community. I get it. It's the men. They're unfortunate. They don't read so good. They don't pay attention so well, and they're cowards. I'm sorry, not by and large. No, by and large, not all. Not all, but unfortunately the vast majority of men are cowards, especially when it comes to issues regarding safety and coming up against their homeboys, even if it means that it will save somebody's life. So with this, the conversation still needs to be had, because there were multiple points in this man's life where he could have learned basic human decency, so that way he would not have this mentality and the confidence. I mean, listen, confidence is great and all, but the audacity, there it is. And the audacity to say these things online, because he's like, oh, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to do anything about this. I am justified in having these thoughts, feelings, beliefs as it relates to a colleague of mine, and nobody's going to do anything about it. Unfortunately, the nobody's going to do anything about it is true. But all of those other things, the thoughts, feelings, belief, the audacity, it unfortunately takes a village to create a person like this. And there are many people like this that exist. Now, at some point, that person will also have to take responsibility for their own actions, and they don't. And they generally don't. For all the women that are out there, please, when I mean this with my whole chest, stay safe out there, because we don't know who has these kinds of feelings about us. Community. Community is the way we survive this. Community is the way we survive this. Stay safe out there. Leave your thoughts in the comments.